We're going to talk about some things, how to get along in the woods. And it's going to be a two-part thing. We're going to have this classroom instruction. Then in the last 2 hours, we'll be in the woods. And that's a graduation course, okay? We're going to run, we have a compass course laid out. You'll follow the compass course, and those that come back graduate.
Oh, the rest can eat my Sasquatch.
And the rest will see next conference.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
All right. Press the right button.
Last time I did anything like this, I was in the Army in 1984.
Turn the thing on and then press the right button. Okay.
84, huh? I was in Germany.
How to keep your keysters unlost is what I
Fort
call
Leonard,
this.
Missouri.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
good
Germany.
subject.
Okay,
All
this is
right.
my basic training there.
First thing we're going to do is learn to look at a compass. Now, first I just find my compass.
Oh,
Never got my hat. Irritated me.
why didn't you get the hat? You just did.
They were having a reduction in force. They're gonna hold me off another 2 years.
Compass. I have never seen them like that.
Well, you got to find stuff.
What?
Oh,
compass?
that is not a compass,
No,
is it?
there's no
That's a
compass.
signal.
Oh, I'm so sorry because I thought I've
That's
never
if-
seen one that
That's if you forget your compass course, you have to have a signal man.
Well, yes.
Okay.
I do, and I forgot to bring mine.
Were we supposed to bring a compass too?
No, well,
Well, only if you want to make it back.
Nobody told us to bring one. So,
I'm just joking.
well, I'm gonna have an experience in the woods then.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be standing there, help, and the Bigfoot are gonna say,
You're gonna
okay.
walk out and he's gonna go.
You think so?
He's gonna point right back to us, going.
one nice thing you have to remember, they're never far from us.
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
Yeah,
thing.
they'll be like, this will be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure. This is Squatch TV right here.
Okay,
Yes.
compass has one thing it does. Only one. It points to the north. Now, I wish they'd invented one that'd do something useful, like point back to your truck. But no, it only points north. Okay? As you can see, now, and it has a bunch of little numbers around it. Okay? Those are degrees of bearing. That's what we call a bearing. It's a 360-degree circle. Starts at 0 to 90 to 180 to 270 and back to 0. Okay. 90 is due east. 180 is due south. 270 is due west. In between, you'll see it has little numbers too. So if I give you a compass course of 135, you can see, you look right there, and there's your 135 number. That's the direction you're going. So you take your compass, you point it on due north, find 135, and that's your direction. Okay?
But you gotta walk that way to find it.
But and that's the trick. Okay, when you have more than one person, it works really well to send one person ahead, say, okay, stand there, and then you walk up to them, you take your next 135, send them on ahead, and then walk up to them. Okay? That way you stay in a straight line. Okay? A person, when they leave their vehicle to go into the woods, should always take a bearing so they know what direction they're going. So, you know, if I start out on 135, if I want to get back, I go 180 degrees away. That's going to bring me back where I started from, right? My north is always going to point north. Okay? So very, very simple. Too many people make this too difficult. I learned it, so it's got to be easy. Okay?
So it's got to be pretty simple. He was in the Navy and the submarine.
I'm a
So.
little confused though. Okay, so when you're walking though, you have to walk this way to see if you're getting close to 135.
No, what you do is you set that on north, you find your 135 on your compass, and that's right here,
It's the direction.
right there, and that's that direction. You look in that direction. You move yourself around. It's kind of hard for me to do here since I don't move very well. But you get that. So you're looking right over that 135. You pick out a big tree, a rock, something, and you go to that rock. Then you do it again. Pick out something, and you go to that rock. Okay. Believe it or not, when I was doing forest engineering work with that compass and just pacing, I could run a property line for 1.5 miles and come out and it'd be within 30 feet of the stake. That was practice, okay? And we're going to learn how to pace too. We've got a course set out here so you can learn how to do that. Because that's part of a graduation course. You have to know your distance. And very simple. You figure out where you want to go. Now, look right up. See that peak? If I wanted to go to the peak where that clear cut type change is up there, take my compass, look at it, and that is 320 degrees. That means no matter what I get into between here and there, as long as I'm walking 320 degrees, I'll come out at that point.
It means you keep the needle at north.
You keep the needle at north.
Look at where 320 is, and you just keep going to where 320
here,
and you go in that direction.
That's it. Now, my first line might be that brown building right there.
Yeah.
And then that tree behind it, and then a tree behind that. So little bitty pieces. And I'll guarantee you, you're not going to stay entirely accurate. Okay, because the trees don't grow in the direction you want to go all the time.
Mother Nature.
They have a tendency to be pretty random. Okay. And so what I would do if I'm going, I know my truck, I went in on 180, so I have to come back out at 0. I would take 5 degrees off to the right, for example, and walk that. I'd walk a 5-degree course. That way, I knew when I hit the road, I'd have to go that way to get back to my truck. Okay, because otherwise, if you run the straight 0, you hit the road. Okay, is my truck that way or is it that way?
You might be a little off.
Special point I want to make, and this, I took the Army engineering course or traverse course, and we went out on a night deal and came back and everything was cool, and then I get out and I go hunting, and I'm up here, way up here, okay, and actually we're over in a wood cutting area. I'm hunting. I bought a brand new compass. Did not check it before I left. Okay. I leave. I know where north is. I get out there. I get a little turnaround. I'm going, wait a minute. Okay, I need to go back. I pull out my compass, and it shows me I'm going exactly the wrong direction, and I think I'm going the right direction. So I say, all right, well, I trust my compass. So I walk in that direction, That's like a mile later, I'm still not out of the woods. And I'm going, this is wrong. Something's wrong. I got that gut feeling something's seriously wrong here. I had forgotten to, and it took me farther in the woods, so I had to reverse what I was doing with the compass and follow it backwards from your instructions because it was backwards. Right out of the store.
You want to make sure when you buy your new compass,
right out of the store,
take it out and use it in some way,
Go to where you know is north.
Yeah.
Where you know north, north is that way. Hold out your compass, and if it doesn't point at north,
Take it back
there's
to the
a problem.
store.
Or get another
Did not
compass,
know
or
that.
get another compass,
I'm married to this man.
and get another compass and check it out. Get another compass and check it out. Verify what your equipment is before you leave.
Very smart, yes.
Now, you're going to also find, and I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but there are places where anomalies occur. Your compass will just sit there and, So, there again, be careful of that. Be careful of that.
That's
Don't
kind of
take
like a
it to
ley
the
line, isn't it?
Montana House of Mystery, right?
Yeah.
What about the GPS, the homing beacons that you can get?
GPS is not going to work out here in all these places. That's the problem.
Oh, no, with the satellite, it doesn't always
You
hit.
got too many trees.
Too many trees, you can't get out. GPS is a wonderful thing, and it has made this
It's really cool.
obsolete in many times. But the one time it doesn't work,
Thus,
You're
you're
in
going to have to
trouble.
count on that.
You have an EMP, that thing's going to save your lives.
Yeah. And those anomalies are rare, very rare. always, like I said, trust your compass.
Yeah.
Your mind's gonna, especially if you get in heavy brush, you can walk around the circle so fast it's unreal.
Oh.
If you can't see the sun,
Can I vouch for that?
done it a couple of times.
Testify.
Yeah, and it's always been, every time it's happened to me, it's been in heavy brush.
Mm-hmm.
A little aside, my partner and I were elk hunting out on the Hoh River, on the Bogoshill River, and we came on a set of tracks, started following them. They crossed the river on us, and the river was in flood at that time, and I didn't really particularly care to November go into the Bogoshill River up to my neck, and so we let them go. Walked back, took the compass reading, started back to the road, and got talking. Didn't think about, both of us are foresters. You don't take a compass reading and know which way to start, and that's it.
Yeah, we know where we're going.
Yeah, pretty quick. Gary says, "Hey, there's a set of tracks." It's wait, there's humans on them already. And I looked, I said, "Yeah, and I know who the humans were." So we took a compass reading. We started out. 10 minutes later, we're right back to the same spot again. This time we took a compass reading, picked the tree, walked to the tree, took another compass, and got out to the road.
You learned.
But we walked around in a circle twice in the same area.
Yep.
And this is experienced foresters, both of us.
Oh, yeah. It's
So it
easy
can
to do.
happen. Yeah, that's why you have to have that thing. Okay?
It's easy to do.
Okay.
Now, may I ask a question?
Certainly.
too? You said when you're at 180 and you want to return to your vehicle, then you go to 0.
Right.
Can you please explain that one to me?
Okay,
Because
there's-
that one I don't get.
There's 0,
Uh-huh.
there's 180.
Sure.
So if I've been walking that
Oh.
way, I turn right around and I go right back.
Thank you for that visual.
So-
now I get it.
180
So,
degrees is exactly
just like
opposite of
anything,
where you're going.
whenever you go somewhere, you want to go, north is this way, and you want that's 30 degrees that way.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the exact opposite.
Yeah.
You might want to mark it or write it down, so you go that way. So if I don't know where in hell I'm at, I want to go home. You go the exact opposite direction that you're going,
Yep.
and
You may
just-
not hit it exactly, but
No,
you'll be,
but
but
that,
you'll be
there
close
you
enough.
go. Yes.
Yeah, and believe me, this is a pickle barrel thing.
I mean, the army uses this. So I mean, and I was in the army, so trust me, it works. Okay, you got to
Did you know there
make
are
it
two
simple.
norths?
Now you're messing with us.
Okay, you're only going to be concerned with one.
The magnetic north.
There's a magnetic north, and that's what the compass works on, is magnetic north. There's also true north. In our area, they're about 20 degrees difference. Okay.
Now you're gonna screw us all.
True north is that way. Magnetic north is out in the middle of Hudson's Bay. Okay. The Arctic Ocean. Okay. They're merging, and nobody really knows why, except that they've done it in geological history 4 or 5 times, so it's no big deal. It's just where the
Something
magnetic force lines that's created by Earth, that's where they come out. That's true north. Okay, magnetic north. True north is at the tip of the globe. Okay, so you don't worry about the true north. We'll just be concerned with magnetic north, because that's all this thing recognizes. Now my compass, my engineering compass, I had the declination set in because I was doing surveying. So everything surveying goes off of true north. But simple traverse is just magnetic north. Okay. Now I don't know if you guys can see this because it's so, but that's what a topographical map looks like. It's a bunch of squiggly lines. Those lines are elevations. Each line stays on the same elevation, and as like that mountain back there. It'll be a line around the mountain at that elevation. So you can pick up a topog map, look at it, and you can see where the ridges are, where the mountains are, where the valleys are, what land is, when those lines are close together. And on this map, there's 40 feet between those lines, 40 feet in elevation between each line. Okay, if they're widespread, okay, that means it's really flat. Okay, when they get so close together it looks like a blur, stay off of that one. Okay, that's steeper than a cow's face. All right, and so you want to be really careful and take some time. These are online available. mytopo.com. Pull up the Topog map and look at the area where you live. Okay, and see you'll see all the every little building's marked on a Topog map. It's really pretty cool what you can learn. But you can see where the drainages are. You can see where the roads are all marked, and just play with it. Have fun with it. It's just something that you don't think about until you need it. Then it's too late. Okay.
What scale is that the maps have the buildings on? That's got to be like the most blown up scale.
Well, no, they're just little black blips.
Yeah.
They just show where they are.
But when you're buying maps, they come in different scales, right?
Yeah, and
They'll have the scale right on the map.
Yeah,
though.
they'll
I
tell
just
you.
wonder which one was the one that would give you the.
I
closest
take
to
mine
you.
offline now, and I just get it to the size I want. You just keep zooming in on it until you get it to the
Yeah.
size I want, and print it. And that's how I work. Now, in map reading, we have what we call a meridian that everything is designed off of. There's a rock just out southeast of Portland, and Willamette Rock was established in 1889. Okay, when they started the public land survey. That line runs north and south from Northern California. It runs into the ocean just south of Crescent City, all the way up the coast of Oregon through the middle of Puget Sound and into Canada. It's called the Willamette Meridian. Okay, when you look at a map, you're going to have ranges that go west of the Willamette Meridian, east of the Willamette Meridian. Then you have a baseline. The Willamette baseline runs basically up the Columbia River in that direction. Going north, you're going to have townships. Going south, you'll have townships. So you'll have Township 1 north, Township 2 north, 3 north. Okay. It's a reference, is all it is. So you know where you are based on where that rock is in Portland. Everything is based off of that. Okay. The only trouble comes in is in the 1880s and 1890s when they were doing this public land survey, much of the surveying was done from the local tavern. Well, that should be about there. Okay, so when you get in the field and you find a stake, hopefully it's where it's supposed to be. Okay.
And don't take it out.
Yeah, and don't please don't. It's and then you have things like the Olympic Peninsula that really mess you up. Okay. When they surveyed that, you got that range of mountains out in the middle of it. Well, they didn't survey that. So they came around the south and across the north. Where they met out there, a section is supposed to be 640 acres. There's sections out there that are over 1,000 acres. Because coming from one way and from the other way, it didn't meet exactly right. Okay. Also, the mountains screw you up. When you're measuring that precisely, those mountains will draw the compass. India is a prime example of that. When they did the survey there, Mount Everest just really fouled up their system totally. All right. Townships and ranges. Willamette baseline, Willamette Meridian. Township 1, 2, 3, 4, we're in Township 20 north, and we're in range 12 east here. Each township is 6 miles square, and each township consists of 36 sections. A section is supposed to be 1 square mile. Okay, 640 acres. Okay, they aren't all. And when you look at the map, you'll see that they run a square and oblong angles sometimes. It's still on the ground the same thing. Where your compass will show you east and west, north and south. But when you're coming down the side of that mountain, it skews things. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just follow your compass. And this is just a basic. Okay, if you can see.
Is that a touch screen, Tom?
Pardon me?
Is that a touch screen?
No.
Okay, I was
I'm
trying
the
to
only
make
one
it,
touched
make it
here.
bigger for them to see it better.
I don't think so. I've never tried that.
Well, let me
But if
see.
you look,
Hit control and scroll. And
can
make
you
it bigger.
see the numbers on that? That's how you're. No.
Control what?
Control scroll. Scroll up and down.
Where's scroll?
Up and down arrow.
Oh, up and down.
Is that making it bigger or
That's
small?
not doing it.
Yeah, working.
Oh, well, I was just going to try and make it bigger so it's easy for you all to see.
36 sections, and they're numbered, started at the northeast corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and back and forth for 36. Okay. And this is not something you're going to need to know, but it's just nice to know information, how we're laid out. That there is a rhyme and a reason to survey. All right. To become a licensed surveyor in an area, you have to work there for so many years. The reason being, we've had 140 years now of people doing it one way, and nothing screws that up like somebody coming in and doing it right. You know? So you have to learn how it's been done, so that when it's time for you to do it, you know, you aren't all of a sudden the line you run isn't 12 feet onto the neighbor's property. Okay, and that's why surveyors spend most of their time in the courthouse. Yeah, they spend far more time in the courthouse reading the records than they ever do behind an instrument, and that's why. Okay, a section. Have you ever seen legal descriptions? It's the northeast quarter, the southeast quarter of the thing, you know.
Like when you buy a house, your
Yeah,
property.
yeah. You have the legal description of it. That brings it right down to where you are in the section. You've got quarter lines and 16th lines. So from here, that's the northwest quarter of the northwest quarter of section such and such township 22 north, range 4 west. You can take it right down to a 5-acre piece, 330 feet by 660 feet. You know, the south half of the southeast quarter, you know, and on and on. And you can get as fine as you want to get doing that. You just have to be careful how you read it. And then the topographical map reading. Learn to know, you know, where your roads are, where the ridges are. Believe me,
So is this where because you said if they're closer together, this is
closer-
where
the
the
steeper they are.
Steeper. Your lines will be real close together, and that dark spot in the middle where that ridge is.
So if you're plotting the course, it may be.
Yeah, there you go.
That
It may
little-
look like it's shorter going this way, but if it's
Right,
like a lot of,
yeah.
you might want to take the other
It's
way
the old
around.
story, you know, the guy that he says, how far is it such and such? He says, well, it's 3 miles as the crow flies. He says, well, how far is it if the crow's walking on a flat tire? It's a totally different distance.
It is, yes.
So basically, if you're hiking in here, and you want to go up on top of this, obviously steep spot,
Yeah.
you're going to want this lighter colored area where the lines are a little farther apart.
Right.
Yeah, because
So you can make like a little. It's a little.
It might be 2
natural
miles
road or
longer, but it's a
flatter
lot
or
less
small.
Can you show me
elevation
on here?
change, you
Yeah.
know,
Stu?
or
I
a
couldn't see
gradual
that. Can you show me on
elevation.
here what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
The in this
save your
type
life.
of work,
Yes.
the shortest distance is not necessarily a straight line.
White spot
right.
in here.
Yeah.
If you were see how they're close together,
Yes.
and they're not here.
I
It's real
learned
flat
that
here.
time.
It's
Don't
actually called
rely
Dead Man
on
Flat.
tracks to get
So that's real
yourself back
flat.
up.
No.
If you want to go up a
Well,
ravine,
because I
to get
had
up on
this
top
dog
of it
with
easier.
me. It
you
wasn't
go up
even
that
my
little white
dog,
strip.
but he liked me for some
Because the
reason, so I
lines
thought I'll
aren't
take
quite
him.
as
He was
close
like a
together.
wolf
Plus
mixed
it gives you a
dog.
little angle.
He just went crazy
And the more angle
once
you
we
add,
got
if
in
you've
the
got a hill
woods. He
like
got
this, if you
so
add some
excited.
angle, it lowers
So
your
that's what I got.
That's why you see roads are cut.
Everywhere.
Roads are cut like
Then
this,
he
so you don't go
showed me
straight up.
tracks.
It's an easier gradual
Like
climb
He
up.
was running back and forth.
So you would come up. Let me find a good
I got
spot
out
here.
before dark.
Like here, there's some.
All I had
other
was a
way lines.
pomegranate
Okay, so
a
like
knife
if you got
some matches.
if you got this range here, right? This is obviously
I
a
was
range.
scared
It's
I
real
was gonna
dark,
make
real
a fire
thick.
because you know.
So if you want to find an
get in
easier way
trouble
up there,
for
you would
making
find a
fires
spot
where
like
I'm not
this.
supposed to make a fire.
Lines on it. So it's gonna be longer. You gotta go around. It's like you were saying, with the crow flies, you can go shoot right there, but
And the dog,
Maybe they'll
the
find
dog,
you if you
around
start
over
the
here,
fire.
back
was just
over here,
he was in his
or around
element.
here, back
No,
over here,
it wasn't cold.
so not so steep.
Okay.
I've climbed some stuff that's
Half
literally,
like, hey, I got this
That's
knife and you have
deep.
warm guts
Oh my
inside. I saw
gosh.
that
Okay.
on Star Wars.
and that's got those lines on it when it's that
And
steep.
in road design,
saw that
we would take a topographical map like that
Or maybe
and
it
a
was
compass.
Kevin Costner or
We
something.
know how far apart the lines are. Okay, so
Poor dog.
we want to hold, say, a 10%
idea.
grade on our road.
He was having a ball.
If the
He
lines
didn't
are
know I was
10 feet
lost.
apart, we'd set our compass to 100 feet and just walk
It
up
was
those
done.
lines. And that would be a 10% grade. We'd go 100 feet for every 10 feet in elevation change. Okay, and that's our initial layout for a road. Then you have to go on the ground and find out if that works.
Yeah, a lot of times it don't work.
Yeah, like, believe me, you do 3 or 4 of them, and maybe it's just 100 feet that there's something a slide through there, or a swamp area, or something that's non-traversable to build road over, something to avoid. That's where we establish what we call control points. We want to hit the point of that ridge right there, so that's our control point. And this is where we're starting. Now, what kind of a grade can we hold and get there? Okay. In logging roads, we could go to 14-15% grade favorable. That's loaded truck coming out. Okay. We had to stay to 8 to 10% adverse. That's loaded truck climbing a grade.
Truck would want to be.
So these are all criteria you learn.
That'd be really
And you just use a topo map to do it before you hit the woods.
Get out.
You do your homework before you go into the woods. Because quite often we would be miles to where we're going to start our road. We were talking about yesterday, going to do a bridge. We may cross the stream 4 miles into our road, 5 miles into our road, and then you get back in there, and all of a sudden you find a track in the middle, right at the edge of a stream, and say, "Oh, somebody made that for you." No, no, there's no been there in 200 years. That's why I quit telling my family about what I was seeing. Okay, safety. When we leave our truck, when we leave our rig, and I learned this elk hunting, out on the Olympic Peninsula, I got after a herd of elk, and it was late in the day, and I knew I was being a fool for doing it. I caught up with them down in the bottom of this swamp. There was nothing that I wanted there, so I let them go, and I turned around, and it was almost dark. On the Olympic Peninsula, unless you want your buddies consoling your wife in ways that may not be appealing to you, you do not wander around at night in the woods, okay? The next step may be 35 feet straight down,
It's pretty rough territory.
Yeah. So I did like anybody that has half a brain in their head. I hunkered down for the night. And that was November, 3rd week in November, on the Olympic Peninsula, where it rains 225 inches a year. And that night was only about 184 hours between when. First of all, by that time of the year, it's dark at 4:30.
Yes, it is.
And it gets light about noon the next day. And that was a long night. So what I did is I decided, being your average thinking bear, this is not good. So I came up with this idea, and I've used this ever since. Simple little fanny pack. And I put some things in it. I never leave the truck without this pack on my butt, okay? A little headlight, okay? Just doesn't take anything at all to put that in there. Okay, the reason it's not working is because the other thing I learned.
batteries.
don't put your batteries in your light. Yeah,
Because they can rust or...
right.
They explode.
So there's the
automatically.
batteries. They're in a little plastic baggie. Put them in the light, it's fine. What's one of the necessities you need at any time, day or night?
Matches, water, fire.
Well, to me, there's even one thing even more
Water.
necessary. Toilet paper.
What? Toilet paper?
Toilet paper.
Now I'm impressed. And then what?
Would you take a little of your coffee and sprinkle on that?
That is funny.
A little bit more.
That is too funny.
That's all right.
So you wet it to use
You
it?
just wet it to use it.
Water bottle?
Keep watching.
I've never seen that before.
I got
You can do it with stream water too.
Yeah.
You just impressed us, Tom.
That's huge. We need those. We need those.
this off Amazon.
You can stick those things in your pocket.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Little more.
be out in the woods.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to carry a whole roll of toilet paper with you.
It's not so obvious.
This is cool.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Do they have toilet liners like that?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
They do. You
Lord,
can buy
look at
toilet
that.
to
Look
go
how big
toilet.
that is.
I have some.
There you
Oh,
go.
listen, my mom buys.
See, look at
those.
that.
I have some too, little disposable thing.
So it's like a toilet paper and baby
REI
wipe all in
sells
one.
them.
Oh, I see now how that works.
Look at it. Yeah. You would have never thought a little pill like that could be that.
Oh,
Okay.
Have to close.
amazing, Tom.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
It's also a hand wipe or a face wipe, you know, but yeah, it works great for toilet paper. Now the alternative is you take a regular sheet of toilet paper and you pull the corner out of it, take that in your teeth,
I know where he's going with this.
and you
Oh, is that the liner?
no,
Oh, I know where he's going.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
then you wipe. You take
Oh no! Not happening.
this is between you and your fingernail.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness. You're talking to a bunch of ladies here.
That just learned a life lesson.
Bring your little...
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You can go to Amazon or clean your fingernails.
Yes.
That's why I carry these.
And you knew.
Oh yeah, we were laughing. You didn't hear us laughing back here?
Yes.
You don't spend 9 years in the Navy
There you
without
go.
learning.
That's right.
At least you should. Oh
See how
my
cool
goodness.
those are?
Those are amazing.
I thought they were water purification.
Me too.
At first I did too, but then when he said put water on it, I
Just-
remembered I'd seen.
No, I thought they were little pills for energy that you can. That you
Yes,
we have them in
something
Germany.
Oh, okay.
It's called sugar.
Yes, but it's
Actually,
That's cool.
they got all kinds of stuff in it.
in Germany. It's called Traubenzucker. It has minerals in it and stuff, but it tastes like
Speaking of
grapes
these,
or
keep those
cherries
away
or
from
whatever,
your
and you
pets,
just suck on
'cause
them. You know.
Don't open up, get it.
Oh yes, it's
Open up
scary.
inside their stomachs.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing, space blankets.
Oh yeah.
And I put 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
With 3 of them, I can build a tent and wrap myself up in it and stay warm all night long. Okay.
And why do you have 3?
Huh?
And why do you have 3?
There's one underneath me,
Yeah.
one to make a lean-to, and one to wrap around.
Yep.
Saw those little triangle tent things too that aren't that big.
Yeah.
Main thing is you want to keep the water off of you from the
That's
ground
right.
Exactly.
at night.
Yeah.
You keep the moisture off you
When
from
you
the ground.
know down.
Yep, right into the ground.
Yeah.
So you want one underneath you or 2.
This is something else I throw in there. A couple
Well-
pieces of parachute shroud. Okay. If I want to make my tent, I just use this and put that across it, and you got a tent. All right.
Tie a line
Put
between 2
I'll
trees
look
and
at
hang it over
this.
the top.
You need a tent. Okay. First aid kit. Mine's a little bigger than what you really need, probably, but it's just nice to have. And I, for years, I didn't carry it. Tell you how important this is. right here. Last summer, the fellow who was parking cars, his girlfriend just took a walk up into the woods, broke her ankle. She was a half hour sitting on the river, on a rock at the edge of the river. She was a half hour from having to spend the night because it was getting dark. They found her just at dark. Okay. If she'd have had that, she wouldn't have had to. Okay. As it was, she was scared to death.
You should always keep the stuff in your car anyway.
Yeah, my
So you should always have a bug out bag in your car because
Yep.
we're in a seismic area.
Oh, absolutely.
And Seattle's all bridges.
Yep.
Where how are
I've
you
got
going
a
to get
backpack in my
anywhere?
car.
I bought that strictly for this pack.
And
It
a gun
stays in
lock
there
and a
forever.
pistol in the
Very,
towns
very
because
simple
they're dangerous
little
now.
knife, but you can split wood with it, and then you've got
Waterproof matches.
waterproof, stormproof matches, and a case. Always with you.
It's also a good idea to take those
We have a
matches
life
and coat them in
straw
wax.
that you can
These
drink
are
out of
pre-coated.
from the river.
They're storm matches,
Right.
and they're pre-coated.
They're pre-coated?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you don't, you can
If you
take
don't, you can
matches
take
and
paraffin and dip it in
Yeah.
and make
Yeah.
the matches
The part
in there.
that you light,
The whole-
side
the whole
that-
stick.
Oh, the
Just
whole
the whole
stick.
thing, yeah.
The whole stuff.
It'll
That way it
still
keeps
work?
the moisture
Oh,
out
yeah.
all the time.
The last thing, this is again is, you may not need it, and in this country sometimes they're hard to use.
Oh, 'cause
oh,
there's no
signal
sunlight.
mirror.
Yeah.
Oh,
Little
that's your
signal
signal
mirror.
mirror.
But you can see a mirror. Aircraft can see a mirror
The
for
flash.
miles and miles. Okay. Now, if you think you're going to be longer, you might want to pack, maybe some pictures and mirrors and
Now, some of those come with like a. Don't some of those come with like the magnifying glass so you can start a fire with it at the same
Yeah,
time?
they do. But this one I spent
Right.
$3 for on
Right.
Amazon. Amazon loves me. I looked at my thing the other day. I had 60 some orders in the last 3 months from Amazon.
They're loving you large.
Sandy says we're going to start a support group. My name is Tom, and I have not ordered from Amazon for 4 days, but about 3 times a week. I found out Prime is a Prime deal.
I got lucky and I got one of my dad's Navy mirror,
Uh-huh.
and it's probably that big.
Yeah. But see, I
But
wanted
it's got that hole in the center. See, and the reason it's
Right.
got that hole in the center is so that you can hold the mirror up so the mirror's away from you, and you look through the little center of the mirror, and you sight on the plane you want, and you wiggle it around until it flashes on the plane.
Yeah.
We've
And
been
then they-
married for 35 years.
And then they're guaranteed. I guarantee you, they're going to see it.
Yeah.
And you can also the middle
He's
is
trying to lose you.
you can use it sometimes it's a whatever and you can use it to actually focus the sun on like you're trying to light a fire.
Yeah, little tiny magnifying glass.
A little tiny magnifying
Did
glass.
that when we were kids. Try to light things on fire.
Yeah,
All
burning the ants on the sidewalk kind of
Like
deal.
I say, you can add pictures and such to your if you plan on being there a while, but you might need a bigger fanny pack if you're going to do that. Okay, any questions?
Why do you not have a life straw in your backpack?
A life straw.
Yes, they're little straws that
I
you
got 'em.
can
Yeah, I got 'em.
you can drink out of the river.
Yeah, but I can't hold enough. I was on the Olympic Peninsula. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
water.
Well, it's just a purification.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
keeps the Giardia out and stuff out. Keeps all the stuff that gives you the runs out.
One thing I do, if I am going to drink out of a stream, I walk upstream at least 100 yards before I do it. It's real disconcerting to just drink your fill and go around the curve and there's a dead deer laying.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
But water running across gravel, 50 yards is pure.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that on the nature shows.
That's
We
something
used
I
to
put in
drink
that
all the
pack,
time
is a tin
up in
cup.
the
I still though I
See,
do have
I
life
had
straw.
yeah, when I was little.
Me and my wife both
Yeah,
have one in
folks
each of our
would make us drink
backpacks.
out of the stream.
Straw.
There are collapsible cups you could put in there, but this is basic. This is stuff that'll keep you fairly comfortable overnight. It'll keep you warm, it'll keep you dry, and if you get a alley, it'll take care of that. If you need a fire, you can make firewood. You can get a fire going. You've got a light, and that's
Sure.
all I have.
If you really want to get creative, you can take that knife and tie it to the end of the stick and use it for a spear.
That's right.
Make some food.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
that's what the paracord is good actually for a lot of
stuff.
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
Now we have a course set up over here to learn to pace. Now when you're pacing, it's a normal walking pace. Don't reach out. It's something you could walk for the next 2 hours. Okay. The idea is, and you're only counting, start off with your left foot, and every time your right foot hits the ground, you count. 1, 2, 3, 4. For me, when I could walk good, I was 20 paces to 100 feet. Exactly 5 feet. I was a little off from that when I started, but I adjusted because I could remember that. 21.5 paces wasn't going to make it. Okay. And, so
Too much math.
yeah, and by doing that, we have the course set up here, over here. You can practice. You count your paces, walk it a couple times, and you'll know pretty much what it is. That way, when you go to the woods and you need to know a distance, you can pace it off. Like I said, I used to be able to go 1.5 miles, and my partner, my logging company partner, used to get so frustrated at me because here I am with my freaking Silver Ranger hand compass and pacing. We'd run a property line and come out. I was okay. The stake's got to be right around here somewhere. A point that's 30 feet away. Too close to even go back and offset your line. We did one. We bought some property. If you know anything about the peninsula, what was the lake? Lake Crescent. Right at the end of Lake Crescent, you go up a steep hill. That's called Fairholme Hill. We bought 20 acres right at the top of Fairholme Hill. It abutted right up to Olympic National Park. We actually found out that 5 acres of it was inside the park. That's a story. We sold that 5 acres to the park because they had funds to buy private land inside the park. Well, we had bought it because of the timber that was on it. And they said, oh, I had gone to the park, told them what our plans were. I had a signed letter that what we were going to do did not interfere with their purposes whatsoever. Have a great day. And then they found out it was inside the park. Well, naturally, it couldn't log inside the park. And even though that was done during the war, Sitka spruce was logged because they used it in making airplanes during the war. There was nothing inviolate. So they wanted to buy it back, and that's fine. We'll be more than willing to do that. And well, you paid $1,350 an acre for it. We'll give you that back for it. Well, that's fine for the land, but there's 240,000 feet of timber standing on that land. You got to buy that too. Well, had them over the barrel. Okay. I had the federal government over a barrel. Okay.
Pretty cool.
I had a permit permitting me to log inside the national park.
Oh my, that's what they gave you?
Yeah, and Highway 101 ran right through there. Well, we won't give you access from the highway. We own the highway there. We won't give you access. That's fine. We'll helicopter log it across the highway to where we already have access, and we'll just sue you for the difference in cost. They ended up paying us $20,000 for that 5 acres. They bought the timber on the stump, plus the land. Which is, that's what we're going to get for it anyway. I didn't even charge them the logging costs. I took that out. Just what our profit would have been on it after everything was paid. And that's what they paid for. It was the only time in my life I've ever had the federal government over a barrel, and it was felt so good.
I bet you it did.
I had to be real careful on my tax returns the next few years.
Oh, Thom Cantrall, we know him.
Yes.
We have him starred here.
Let's go
so.
see if we can find this is right there. That's right. That way. Okay. Okay, and that's, you guys didn't take the pacing course. Okay, but you walk it off. My pace is 5 feet. Yours would be about 5 feet, maybe a little longer. and you can keep track of your distance. Okay, there'll be another stake there. At that stake, you turn to 260 degrees and go 25 meters, about 75 feet. All right, then there's a stake there. Then you go 100 meters at 100 degrees. And that's just a course around, and it'll come back here. If you get back here, you graduate.
Ah.
Okay.
We have to come find you.
Yeah, we don't even go find nobody.
He's the
Sounds
prize.
like I'm not leaving. We don't care who we bury.
So you never,
you
you
ain't
never
making it back, I
had,
know
like,
that.
like if you wanted to go west, you would never turn and have the
No.
needle point west.
No,
So you
no,
always,
you always
keep it.
the needle's going to point north. That's all, the only place it's point. You just line yourself to the compass, so there's west. Okay, and you're looking due west.
Okay.
Okay, and the better compass.
That way.
Okay. See
Am I doing that right? Let's see, 260. Too far. 40, 50, 60. Okay, right?
260.
Going in the opposite direction. And then from here, from white to yellow, 170 degrees at 25 meters. 170 degrees. $170 degrees, 50, 60, 70. So, right just past this tree right here. No, right here. Just past this tree that way. Look at that little tree.
Yeah.
60, 70.
So 25 meters is what, 75 feet, basically?
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Don't ask him the foot thing. I have to think in meters.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you-
we have
Okay.
to go.
Land nam's not
That's
done
right.
in feet.
Okay,
no.
so past that little tree. I'm headed towards that little tree, then that big tree past it. Okay, let's go.
All right.
So how many? You counting?
Yeah. Paces with him.
You can't walk straight. You try not to kill yourself. Okay. So from here,
240.
from yellow to light green, 240 degrees, 50 meters. Oh, shoot. Have you ever used one of these?
Just the old-fashioned.
You want to try to do this?
Really, you should. I'm good with just being the buddy on this. Don't give up. Get it until you're like, nobody says anything and you do it. That's what I would do.
Okay, this one, 240. So we've got to go. We always go back. We have to go back. 240. There. Okay, so straight through here. Straight through. Just to the left of this little tree. It's moving on me. Stay still. Okay, look at that.
Oh, you know what? Your compass isn't level. It's up a little bit. So flat. It's still up a little on the yeah, there you go. That's flat. That's better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so there's 240, and I'm looking through there, past that little tree, right
I see.
through there. Okay, so we're gonna go past that tree, past that little V tree. How many feet are we walking?
50. Well, not feet. It's 50 meters.